here in the early going, so it'll be the 1, 2, 3 hitters due up for your Warriors as Briar Hancock steps up into the batter's box with a 1-1 count against Abby Dasher, who's in the circle for Plattsmouth. Swung on and missed, strike 2. Blew that one by her upstairs. So now down to count 1 and 2. So Plattsmouth did not get a hit in their top of the first. However, they were able to play to run with the wild pitch and 3 walks in the inning. And they started out the bottom of the first inning the way Wahoo started out the top of the first with a swinging strikeout as Briar Hancock goes back to the dugout. And Leah Simon will step up now, left fielder today for your Warriors. Stands in the right-handed box, and first pitch is roped right to second and caught on the line over there by McKinney. That's what you like to call hand-eye coordination, is right to her. And quickly, 2 outs as Avery Hansen steps in. Her first pitch is also swung on, and this one fouled on the first base line and back towards the concession stand.
Glad I didn't park over there.
Luckily, no one's able to. You know, we were the first ones that got here. Both of our vehicles were the first 2 vehicles in the lot, and we were debating about that. First,
it's like, where do you park?
Exactly.
Here?
Next pitch down low and inside. I parked completely in the far back here of Hackberry Park in the far back left side down the third baseline. You just never know, especially with the wind today and some of those things. That pitch high. Did she go around?
That's what they were looking at right now. 2
yeah.
and 1, so did not go around.
So the 2-1 here to Avery Hansen is inside, and that was close again.
Yeah, 2-2.
Yeah, okay.
That was definitely
that time
was called
she
a strike.
did. Yeah,
it's like, you're not going to get away with that.
It was close.
Time.
It was close.
Yeah.
So Dasher trying to get her second strikeout. This one's popped up down the first base line. It drops in front of Atkins, and it stays a fair ball as Hansen gets to first on the infield single. Talk about just the perfect place to bloop that one up. And so 1 on with 2 gone for Karin Eady, who stands in now. Her first pitch swung on and missed on the pitch that dropped low in front of her. But it was honestly a good attempt by Atkins, the first baseman. She made a good jump on it. It was just out the reach of her glove. And the next pitch is roped down the left field line and over the head of Smith out there in left field. She misread it. Rounding third on her way home is Hansen, and it's an RBI double for Karin Eady. It looked like Smith initially saw where it was, and then she ran in towards the infield as it soared over her head and got back to the fence. So we'll mark that one a double as Eady's at second as Hansen came around to score. So just like that, we're all tied up here in the first inning between Plattsmouth and Wahoo in this JV matchup.
Going to prove to be a very good game then. And it just
right.
goes back and forth like this. Worth the price of admission, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. This pitch, she tried to check her swing, and it ticked off the top of her bat and back towards the chain fence. So now the count 0-1 with 2 gone and a runner at second. That's Karin Eady. It's Olivia Wesley at the plate right now. She's standing at short today defensively for your Warriors. 1-1. The count now. This pitch drops low, and a nice job by the catcher Gregerson to keep it in front of her. However, she's a little bit slow getting the ball back up into her glove with a chance to try and throw it to Campen at third. And good hands-up base running by Eady over there. So she's standing at third now with a 3-1 count. And the pitch inside, but it's grounded over to short. Losey's there, over to first. And it is not in time. Boy, it was close, and I couldn't see where the ump is standing. I couldn't quite see if he marked it safe And she is. So it's an RBI infield hit for Olivia Wesley, and the Warriors take the lead. And now going to second on the first pitch is Wesley. So showing off her speed right now as dirt flies here in Wahoo. Well, she's got a lot of speed there on the base pass already. She was able to leg out a single, which was kind of a bang-bang play. Gave the Warriors a lead, and now she's threatening to go to third as she got about a third of the way down the line. As it's Tenley Watts at the plate right now for Wahoo. Right fielder today. She stands in and watches the pitch go outside, and now halfway down the line before going all the way back is Wesley again. She brought the catcher all the way out of the box down the third baseline about halfway, and they were both staring at each other saying, all right, who's playing the game of chicken?
Yeah, who's gonna
move first?
Yeah, exactly.
And this pitch outside again is once again the game of chicken continues as Wesley goes all the way halfway down the line there. My goodness. But the count at the plate now, 3-1 with 2 gone, a runner at second. That pitch outside swung on and missed, though. So now full count. Each of the pitches have been in kind of that same spot, pulling Gregerson out from behind home plate to make the catch way out to her left. Now the 3-2 pitch. High, ball 4, and going to third with a throw, out. A little bit too aggressive that time for Olivia Wesley, and that's out number 3. So Wahoo retakes the lead with 3 hits, no walks, and nobody left on, and 2 runs. We head to the top of the second. It's Wahoo 2, Plattsmouth 1. You're tuned in to Warrior Softball.
At Medicine Man Pharmacy, we aspire to be the pharmacy provider confidently chosen by our clients for their family's everyday health needs because of our expertise, integrity, and honestly, consistently exceeding their expectations. Reliability, bright spot, value, integrity, community building, and so much more can be found at Medicine Man Pharmacy of Wahoo. At Medicine Man Pharmacy
Apparel headquarters, your favorite game day shop offers apparel for your favorite local teams and schools. Shop Rivalry online at rivalryapparel.com or stop by and say hi to the Rivalry team in downtown Wahoo at 535 North Linden Street. Our shop hours are Tuesdays and Thursdays 10 to 6, Wednesdays and Fridays 10 to 5, and Saturdays 9 to noon. Need custom apparel for your team or business? Give us a call, 402-870-0780. The team at Rivalry want to help you have a win.
Welcome back to Wahoo, Nebraska. It is the kickoff of softball season right here on SaundersCountyOnline.com and Wahoo Public YouTube channel. We love bringing this to you. Eventually, we're going to be able to bring it all sorts of different places, not only on air through the YouTube channels, but basically right to your living room if you want. So it is right here, but we love having people come out, and it's a beautiful day for some softball.
Here we go in the top of the second inning. It's your Warriors leading 2-1 in the first pitch here in the top of the second. Over to short, thrown over to first, and there's one pitch, one out to start the top of the second.
Well, that saves on the pitch count.
Yes. As it was a nice play by the shortstop, Wesley, coming over in front of the second base bag and throwing it over to hits there at first. Is the 7, 8, 9 hitters due up here for Plattsmouth, and that brings up the 8-hole hitter Alexis Gregerson, who's behind home plate catching. And her first pitch is swung on and grounded down the first baseline and foul. Gregerson had a nice job there in the bottom of the first inning, keeping some balls in front of her and dealing with some aggressive Warrior base runners. As the way Plattsmouth got on the board was 3 walks, so they've seen the ball well. They got 3 walks and scored on a wild pitch, and then they had 3 strikeouts in that top of the first inning. This one grounded over to Wesley again, gets it over to hits this time. Not as close of a play, and 2 up, 2 down in the exact same way, 6-3 on the scorecard.
So that means that was like the 4th pitch of the inning.
Yeah, we're doing pretty well here. After several, I wish that would be a good idea if I kept track of the amount of pitches, but I don't know if I have that.
This early in the season, I don't think that is a big of a deal.
I don't know if I have the brain power to be able to keep track of that as well. It's Abby Losey at the plate now. She's at shortstop today. 6, 7, 8, 9. A good eye that time, says her Blue Devil crowd, as she has a 2-0 count now. In that pitch inside and grounded instantly right. It basically hit right next to Hancock there in the catcher's box. It was hit so sharply to the ground and rolled over to the Warrior dugout here on the first base side for the first strike, and kind of a loud one. 2-1 count. Down the pipe and just a little bit late on it. Grounded to the exact same spot again.
Yeah. Consistency is
I was
key.
just going to say that. I was literally, you've read my mind. Literally read my mind. That's exactly. Now the count's 2-2-2 here in the top of the second. How about that? 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And that one's foul down the first base line.
Yeah, it was just outside. But ran it out just to make sure.
Yeah. Hits tried to grab it before it crossed that white line, but wasn't able to do so. So the count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the second. Pitch high, swung on, and grounded.
Consistently.
I'm telling you.
Same place over there.
I'm telling you, it's hitting right over towards this on-deck circle on the Wahoo side of the dugout here on the right side. So we do it again. 2-2 the count. Nobody on. And 2 gone here in the top of the second. Wahoo leading 2-1 over Plattsmouth here in the JV game. We'll play 3 innings. That ball drops low. Good eye that time from Abby Losey as she gets some praise from her teammates over there on the third base side. And the pitch, once again, this time blooped down the foul territory on first base side. Just a little bit late. She can't get right in front of it. Just trying to catch up, and Carnegie looks like she, so far here in this inning, has kind of settled down. Now, here's the full count pitch again.
Just keeping it alive.
Right. Great pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3 right when we're talking about it. And down go the Blue Devils in order. 1, 2, 3. No hits, no walks, no runs, and nobody left on base. We head to the bottom of the second. It's Wahoo 2, Plattsmouth 1 here in the JV action.
General is looking for you. Hiring all positions and all shifts, they are looking for you with a starting pay up to $22 an hour with a $2,000 sign-on bonus. You can find details by going to dollargeneral.com/careers or by texting DG Warehouse to 25,000. Must be 18 or older, but again, starting pay up to $22 an hour with a $2,000 sign-on bonus. Contact them now, dollargeneral.com/careers. If you're looking for a new career, Dollar General is looking for you. Hiring all positions and all shifts, they are looking for you with a starting pay up to $22.
Aspire to be the pharmacy provider confidently chosen by our clients for their family's everyday health needs because of our expertise, integrity, and honestly, consistently exceeding their expectations. Reliability, bright spot, value, integrity, community building, and so much more can be found at Medicine Man Pharmacy of Wahoo. At Medicine Man Pharmacy, we aspire.
Welcome back to Wahoo, Nebraska. It is Wahoo Warriors JV versus Plattsmouth right here on Wahoo Public YouTube channel, SaundersCountyOnline.com.
Austin McNorton and Kelly Johnson here with you as we're in the bottom of the second inning now. Your Warriors leading Plattsmouth here in the JV action 2-1. For the Warriors due up, it'll be their 7, 8, 9 hitters, and that brings up Addison Kennington into the right-handed batter's box. Shows bunt, pulls it back as it drops in low. The pitcher on the mound right now for Plattsmouth is Abby Dasher. She gave up 3 hits and 2 runs in the bottom of the first for your Warriors. So now the count 1-1 here for Kenning. Looks at the pitch inside, showed bunt again, and that one did clip her back. So the bunt probably out of play now. There's 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the infield is on it, too, I will say. Campen and Adkins, the third baseman and first baseman for Plattsmouth are on it, as this one's grounded to first. Atkin gloves it, takes it to first herself for out number 1. That brings up Blake Hitz today for Wahoo, the first baseman. Blake, the sophomore for the Warriors, rocking number 22. Wahoo I gotta admit, these uniforms are pretty sweet. Royal blue pants, gold jerseys, blue numbers, white trim, white helmets. Plattsmouth is in their road black pants, blue jerseys, white numbers, and white shoulders. The first pitch low. 1-1 now the count. That pitch inside, swung on and missed. Strike 2 for Blake Hitz. A little bit more crowd starting to fill in now, as I'm guessing a lot of varsity parents starting to get off work and get to the ballpark.
Yep.
2-2, that pitch a little bit high. And Wahoo, in the bottom of the first inning, had 2 quick outs, but then 2-out rally with a single, a double, and then another single to drive in their 2 runs. And staying alive now.
So count goes to full. See what happens here.
Wahoo yet to walk here so far today. All of their base runners have been with contact. That pitch inside, she nearly went around, held it back, and she's on with the walk right when we're talking about it.
Yeah.
Just put it out into the universe. That's what I always say. You just put it out into the universe, good things will happen. So 1 on with 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Wahoo trying to add on to their 2-1 lead here in JV softball action. The 9-hole hitter, Michaela Kenning up. Sister to Addison Kenning, who led off the inning. And I'll tell you what, Wahoo, even in just the JV action right now, is showing that they want to be aggressive on the base path. Every single pitch, they have runners trying to get at least a third of the way down and make Gregerson think about it. This one bunted right back to Dasher. Couldn't glove it cleanly. Does get it over to first in time, though. So way to stick with it that time for Plattsmouth Abby Dasher, as she couldn't get it into her glove initially, but stuck with it and got it over to Atkins in time for out number 2. As Hitz moves up to second, and that brings back up Briar Hancock to the plate, who struck out her first time up, but now has a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. First pitch swinging, and a little bit behind that one out, strike number 1. Briar rocking the catcher's gear today. Stands in the lefty box and looks at a pitch that drops low. Ball 1. That's a tough pitch to lay off on, as Dasher is doing a great job of putting it right down the center of the zone. It's just dropping at the last second, so it's tempting to want to get out on it, as that one's way outside, swung on and missed, strike 2. And once again, hits tempting Gregerson to make a throw. She stands halfway down the line going to third. 1-2 the count, 2 gone, and a runner on second for your Warriors. Dasher looks at the sign, deals, swung on, and it was ticked just barely. So Hancock stays alive off the end of the bat and down the third base line. So we do the 1-2 again. This one outside, and that one was smoked right back off the fence here. Just a little bit behind it. She's able to get on that one, and that one's probably getting to the right field gap. Runner on second. Good job laying off that one, as Dasher tried to catch the bottom left corner of the zone. Could not. So we get off 1-2. The count, was stuck on that for a bit. Now it's 2-2. And the pitch now. Outside, called strike 3. And Hancock goes down again looking. So, no hits, 1 walk, no runs, and 1 left on. To the top of the third we go. Final chance here for Plattsmouth as Wahoo leads it 2-1.
Season, we are your biggest fan. Rivalry Apparel Headquarters, your favorite game day shop, offers apparel for your favorite local teams and schools. Shop Rivalry online at rivalryapparel.com or stop by and say hi to the Rivalry team in downtown Wahoo at 535 North Linden Street. Our shop hours are Tuesdays and Thursdays 10 to 6, Wednesdays and Fridays 10 to 5, and Saturdays 9 to noon. Need custom apparel for your team or business? Give us a call, 402-870-0780. The team at Rivalry want to help you have a winning season. We are your biggest fan. Rivalry Apparel Headquarters, your favorite game day shop, offers apparel for your favorite local teams and schools. Shop Rivalry,
the pharmacy
online.
provider confidently chosen by our clients for their family's everyday health needs because of our expertise, integrity, and honestly, consistently exceeding their expectations. Reliability, bright spot, value, integrity, community building, and so much more can be found at Medicine Man Pharmacy of Wahoo. At Medicine Man Pharmacy,
And we're back to Wahoo Public School. It is the Warriors taking on Plattsmouth JV Softball. We are in the third inning of the first game of the season. First.
Yeah.
First of the day, first of the season.
Game one on day one of the 2023 season. Kelly Johnson, Austin McNorton here with you at beautiful Hackberry Park Softball Complex. Into the top of the third is your Warriors lead at 2-1. So, believe final chance here for Plattsmouth to try and tie this JV game up as we play 3 innings of JV action. And it's the 1-2-3 hitters due up for Plattsmouth. Abby Dasher, who has been out on the circle this time, is there. And, well, actually, that looks like might have a sub there. It looks like it's number 2 now rather than Dasher. And that might be, it looks like Claire Laney is the one in there right now for Plattsmouth. So Laney's first plate appearance, roped down the right field line, and it drops in fair territory past the glove of Watts, rounding second, going to third without a throw. It's a stand-up triple for the substitute Claire Laney who comes in. And just like that, with no outs, Plattsmouth is in scoring position. With a leadoff triple. And that one was just in fair territory down the first base side in right field. And Watts couldn't get over to it. And so, runner in scoring position for another sub, it looks like, here for Plattsmouth. It's Amara Johnson standing in there. Looks like these might be, based on what I remember, these might be some varsity players a little bit. I'm not sure on that. If not similar names. I definitely saw an Amara on the varsity roster for Plattsmouth. We'll see that later. But right now, Johnson is in there for Plattsmouth. And has a great hitters count, 3-0. Dasher, or Edie, I should say, has already walked one. And this one's grounded to second, and it gets under the glove of Kenning into the grass and marked down an E4 and a run scored for Plattsmouth. And just like that, the game is tied. As Johnson is on. So now, I'm always going to double check now to see who's in. It's the first pitch inside and low. It's number 17 in there now. And that's Justine Villamonte. Thrown over to first quickly as Edie wanted to keep Johnson close to the bag there and not get too quick of a start. You can't lead off, but she is just looking right at second. She's going pretty much immediately as this one's roped out deep to center field and it gets over Kenning's head, back to the fence, rounding third, going to home. Oh, they would have had her. It was a perfect throw home to Hancock. I don't think Hancock had any clue that Johnson was coming home as she ran right behind her and scored, and Plattsmouth takes the lead. I mean, it was a perfectly executed play from center field back to the second baseman, Kenning, who threw it on a rope to Hancock behind home plate. I just don't think Hancock was expecting it to be so perfect, and coming right behind her to score was Johnson on the RBI double from Adkins. Or Villamonte, I should say, who was coming in as a sub. Just like that, when Wahoo was 3 outs away, Plattsmouth comes and takes the lead 3-2. With no outs and a 2-0 count now. Now, this looks like it's Lacey Hill standing in there. That's number 27. So it looks like pretty much an entirely new lineup in there right now for Plattsmouth. And it is low. And the count goes to 3-1 now. Nobody out and a runner at second as Plattsmouth looking to add on to their lead now. And that pitch way high and outside. Good job from Hancock to keep it. Was that ball 4? Yep, that's what I had, and then there she goes. So Hill is on with a walk. 2 on, nobody out. And we'll see who stands in now. Looks like it's number 10 for Plattsmouth. All right. Number 10. Yeah, Chloe McKinney. So they kind of moved the order around here a lot. McKinney, she walked her first time up when she was the number 2 hole hitter and came around to score on a wild pitch in the top of the first inning. And she now has a 1-1 count with nobody out and 2 on and 2 already across here in the top of the third. The pitch inside, down the first base side, and foul as Watts tried to make an effort down there on that side. Just results in a long strike in the 1-2 count now. Love to see Carnegie get a strikeout here if possible. Just to kind of get things rolling a little bit here with still nobody out. And this one's right back towards us off the chain link fence. Don't forget, Warrior fans, also head out to the football field tomorrow night for the blue and gold scrimmage. I'll try and find out some more details about when that kicks off and some of those kind of things. As, believe it or not, Warrior football is right around the corners. This one gets off the chest of Hancock back to the backstop, and every runner moves up a base. So Hill goes to second. Villamonte goes to third. So now 2 runners in scoring position with nobody out, 2 already across, and a 2-2 count here in the top of the third, as Plattsmouth leads your Warriors 3-2. The pitch is off the top of the bat, down the first baseline, and off the dugout, out of play. For Chloe McKinney, who's in there right now. She started out this JV game as the 2-hole hitter. She's now batting in the 5 spot here in this inning anyway. There were a couple of subs. The pitch is popped up. It will stay in play, but it goes off of the fence. So even if Hancock would have gotten there, I think it probably would have clipped the fence before she would have had a chance to make the catch. So we'll do the 2-2 again. Got a Yankees fan here in attendance. You know, I'm a Royals guy, so I'm expected to be disappointing. The Yankees, with their money they spend and their players, a season they're having, I would be irate. But I know it brings pretty much everyone in America a lot of joy. To see them not happy. 2-2 low. And now the umpire, I think, yeah. So what just happened was over at second, Lacey Hill led off too early before the pitch got there.
So now she's out.
Right. I don't know all the exact details of that rule.
It's an interesting rule there.
You can't lead off like you can in baseball.
Right.
You got to go right when I think it has to hit the glove. And so what was a 3-2 count with nobody out, just like that, you have 2 outs.
And now, then the next pitch was a strike, 2 outs. We went from 0 outs to 2 outs.
Just like
in one
that.
Pitch.
Just like that. 2 are gone. And this could be a big at-bat now for Plattsmouth, as runner on third is Villamonte, and standing in there is number 8, Chloe Atkins, who struck out her first time.
First ball was a strike right there.
One, and that pitch outside and high.
Now 1-1.
So this would be, for how the inning got started and 2 runners in scoring position with nobody out, to then have an illegal leadoff out and then a strikeout that's a lot of help, and then to try and get this out, that I think Edie would be all right with that, with the way things got started here. And a 2-1 count now as that pitch misses high and outside. This one low. She wanted it, didn't get it. It's a 3-1 good hitters count here for Atkins, who is once again 0 for 1 today with the strikeout.
Well, as a catcher, you have to hold on to that in order to be able to get that to count.
Here's the pitch. Low, and that one gets way away from Hancock, but no runner goes.
Interesting. I was thinking that runner from third was...
With how aggressive she already has been on the base path.
She was actually, 15, 20 feet downwind already. So it's like, why not wrap it up?
So it just results in a walk. No runs scored on the wild pitch, as Atkins is at first. So runners at the corners now with 2 gone. And standing in now is Meredith Smith, who she walked her first time up and was left at third in the top of the first inning. And it's now a 2-1 count, 2-0 count, I should say, with her standing in the right-handed box. 2 of her teammates on the corners. Would like to add a little bit more insurance if possible, rather than the current 3-2 lead that they have. Two-one pitch, drops in front of Hancock, keeps it in front of her, and going to second without a throw is Atkins. Two runners in scoring position again, and that catches the bottom left corner of the zone. Great pitch that time. Meredith Smith watched it the entire way. And the 3-1 count. Big pitch here. Inside, missed it. And that is ball 4 again. Back-to-back walks. Bases loaded now with 2 outs. As Olivia Byram steps up, she walked her first time up and got left at first in the top of the first inning. First pitch into her, drops low. And Hancock, she is moving a lot there behind home plate. Every single pitch, it seems like she's fighting for her life to keep it in front of her. Here's the pitch again, low, missing that bottom left corner. That's where Edie's been trying to get it primarily the entire game. Couldn't get that one. The pitch with bases loaded. That time, I thought it did catch it that time. So it's 3-0 now, nowhere to put her for Karin Edie. And that pitch misses high. Ball 4, and that brings in a run. Another run for the Blue Devils after 3 straight walks.
And looks like a little bit of a coach visit right now.
Yep. Bases loaded again, so it'll be exact same situation, but now down 2 runs as we're about to almost bat around here in this top of the 3rd inning. Wahoo was just 3 outs away from ending it after leading 2-1 to start the inning. Now they're down on 4-2. Don't want to give up any more here to give yourself a chance when we get to the bottom of the 3rd. Good crowd from both sides. Looks like Plattsmouth brought a pretty decent crowd here for the JV game at least. So in the right-handed box now, we'll check and see because there's been a lot of subs here in this inning. First pitch inside, swung on and missed. Strike 1. It's number 4, Tiana Jenkins, who's in there. So they kind of made 4 subs, and then they went back through the order. Is what happened here in this inning, and the count's 1-1 now. With 2 gone and the bases loaded and 2 already across. Pitch inside, and that hit her in the helmet. Boy, you hope she's all right.
Yeah.
She's holding her helmet. Coach comes and talks to her. Yeah, I don't even know if she... See, the way she acted, she was looking around saying, did it hit? Did it hit the helmet?
What in the world was that?
Oh, my goodness. It just came so quickly, it kind of caught her off guard, like, wait, did it actually hit me there? Sure enough. So it's 3 straight walks and a hit batter to bring in 2 runs here for Plattsmouth. And now standing in there is number 24, Ruby Campen. With the bases loaded and 2 gone again and a 1-0 count. And that pitch drops low, and it's another good hitters count here for the Blue Devils. Still here in the JV action. We play 3 innings, so the Warriors will get a chance in their bottom half as that pitch drops low. And there's a strike that she's been looking for. She needed that one badly as there was nowhere to put Campen. 3-1 count. And it's grounded back up the middle. Tough play for Wesley over to first, and it is not in time. So an infield RBI there for Campen.
Drives in another run, and
Goodness.
Now it's 6-2. A lot of work that the Warriors have coming up. When they could have just had 3 outs and wrapped it up. So, but again, as the very first game of the season, there's a lot to learn, a lot of softball to be played as we continue on.
We know in these JV games as well, just so many young players getting maybe even some of their first kind of experience at this level. You know, like we've seen, like Carnegie, for example, freshman, getting her first kind of experience and getting things going. So it looks like we will have a pitching change out there now for Wahoo. This is a tough spot to come into as it will be bases loaded again.
Number 20.
With 2 outs. And, yeah, that's number 20 out there for Wahoo, and that is another freshman, Avery Hansen, who was playing third throughout the entire game here. So she'll move out to the circle. And we'll see if Edie will replace her over there at third. And due up for Plattsmouth, it'll be number 16. And that is Alexis Gregerson, who walked. Or wait, no. Yeah, this is who grounded out to short her first time up. I'm having the amount of the subs in there and everything here in this third inning has got my lineup a little bit wonky. So Alexis Gregerson looks at her first pitch, high, 1-0 the count. Bases loaded.
Continued.
2 outs. Yeah, yeah, continued. It's so true. And this one is roped out into right field. It hits off the glove of Watts. 1 run, 2 run, 3 runs come in. Or just two. Two runs.
Just two runs.
Just the 2 runs come in as being held at third.
Actually, no, just 1 run.
Was Claire Laney.
Oh, yep, no, 2 runs. You're
Yep.
right, man.
I know, I missed it.
2 runs. Well, it's not bases loaded anymore.
Right, yeah, well, and another run comes in to score on the wild pitch. So Plattsmouth right now pouring it on here in the top of the third as Wahoo only had 3 outs to go. A couple of subs were made, and Plattsmouth has taken full advantage.
The one thing you can take solace in is looking at the future. There's some pretty good softball to be played in the years to come between these teams.
Without question, yeah. And like this is kind of the level you get to see that a little bit. This is the best way to kind of watch these JV games, I always say, is to say, all right, this is what the future of these programs are going to be like. And you can tell Plattsmouth, last year in the varsity level, Wahoo won in a run rule. Played only 3 innings, but right now you can tell Plattsmouth's young team is looking pretty solid, pretty confident, and games like this, especially to start out the year, can kind of give you that, maybe even give you some of that momentum heading into the rest of the year. Here's the pitch, grounded down the first base line and foul. And 1-2 is the count. And standing in there batting, got to mention, is Abby Losey, who's in there. She's 0 for 1 today with a strikeout. And that one nearly hit her as she backed out of the way, and he gets past the glove of Hancock to the backstop. And going to third is Gregerson. So Gregerson stands at third now. Losey at the plate, looks at ball 4, and is put on again. Well, Wahoo had 2 outs, and then had 1, 2, 3 straight walks, a hit batter, 2 singles, and now another walk. Just can't get this final out. A lot easier said than done. Runners at the corners again with 2 outs. And the new pitcher out there is Hansen. And look at the batter now. It once again is number 2. And there's the out. The final out that Wahoo's been looking for is there, but a lot of damage has been done. As it's 5 hits, 4 walks. Let's see. What was that? 8 runs and 2 left on. We head to the bottom of the third. It is now Plattsmouth 9, Wahoo 2.
RivalryApparel.com or stop by and say hi to the Rivalry team in downtown Wahoo at 535 North Linden Street. Our shop hours are Tuesdays and Thursdays 10 to 6, Wednesdays and Fridays 10 to 5, and Saturdays 9 to noon. Need custom apparel for your team or business? Give us a call, 402-870-0780. The team at Rivalry want to help you have a winning season. We are your biggest fan. Rivalry Apparel Headquarters, your favorite game day shop, offers apparel for your favorite local teams and schools. Shop Rivalry online at rivalryapparel.com or stop by and say hi to the Rivalry team in downtown Wahoo at 535 North Linden Street. Our shop hours are Tuesdays and Thursdays 10 to 6, Wednesdays and Fridays 10 to 5, and Saturdays 9 to noon. Need custom apparel for your team or business? Give us a call, 402-870-0780. The team at Rivalry want to help you have a winning season. We are your biggest fan. Rivalry Apparel Headquarters.
Welcome back to Wahoo as we have Wahoo Warriors taking on Plattsmouth. It's the JV game. We're now going to the bottom of the third inning, wrapping up the game. The Warriors, they have a little bit of a hill to climb to get out of this one.
A little bit, yeah.
Just a little.
A hill, maybe you could call it.
A mound.
What do they call it in this? You mentioned it's this region has a name. What's the name of the?
Actually, just to our west, if you look up Bohemian Alps.
There you go. It's a Bohemian Alp. So how about that? They
you
have
go.
a Bohemian Alp to climb. How about
They do have a Bohemian Alp to climb.
Due up for your Warriors is the 2-3-4 hitters. And the first pitch is grounded back over to short. Losey is there, over to first, and it is in time for a quick out number 1. The Plattsmouth fans making some noises. Avery Hansen, who came out to help with the pitching there in that top of the third, stands in now. She's 1 for 1 today with a single in which she came around to score in the bottom of the first inning. And the first pitch catches the bottom left corner of the zone for strike 1. That pitch misses high. Wahoo in the game so far, 3 hits, 2 runs. Both of those, or all of those, in the bottom of the first inning. This one roped down the first base side and back towards the concession stand, out of play. Now the crowd really filling in here from what I can see. Good day for it, no doubt about that. This pitch grounded back in front of Gregerson. A little bit of miscommunication there, and getting to first safely is Hansen. So she's 2 for 2 today with 2 singles, as Dasher and Gregerson kind of looked at each other as the ball dribbled right in front of them, perfectly in between them. And so Hansen is on again for the second time today. And that brings up Karin Eady, who has an RBI double and is 1 for 1 today. Trying to get something going here for Wahoo, and this one's blooped and behind the catcher Gregerson to the backstop for strike number 1. First pitch swinging for Eady that time. She wants to keep the line moving. 0-1, 1 gone and 1 on here in the bottom of the third. Plattsmouth leading your Warriors 9-2. We'll see how aggressive Hansen is over there at first. See if she'll try to get into scoring positions. This pitch is swung on and missed on the pitch inside. Really kind of pulled the string that time. She was expecting a little bit of a faster pitch and did not get one there. That was a really great pitch, honestly, that time from Abby Dasher. 1-2 the count. The pitch inside again, and it dribbles foul on the third base side. One-two again, inside and low, and now it's a late steal, but getting in standing is Hansen. It was kind of one of those, she was like, should I go? And then right when Gregerson was like, I'll throw it, then she was like, okay, I'll go. And
Should I stay? Should I go?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I'll go. Hey, I can do it.
And now she's in scoring position with a 2-2 count. Inside, swung on, strike 3. Down goes Eady, and your Warriors are down to their final out. And it's Olivia Wesley standing in. She's 1 for 1 today with an RBI single back in that bottom of the first where the Warriors took a 2-1 lead. First pitch swinging, grounded at a short. Losey is there, thrown over to first. Won't even throw it to first as she knew that Wesley was going to beat it out with her speed. So instead she's like, I'll just throw it to Abby Dasher back on the circle and keep everyone stopped. So it's 2 singles, and the Warriors are still alive as Hansen gets up to third. Runners at the corners, 2 gone. Bottom of the third, standing in is Tinley Watts. She looks at a strike in the bottom left corner of the zone, and it was kind of an awkward no throw, but stealing to second is Wesley. Here's the pitch. It is off the end of the bat, in the infield, but it will drop in front of the left fielder, Smith. And 2 runs will score for your Warriors on the RBI double from Tinley Watts. So the Warriors
Showing
keep
some
fighting.
life there.
Keep fighting, staying alive. And
Why wait till you have 2 outs to do that, though?
Right, yeah. Here's the pitch inside, ball 1. Watts not going anywhere. Stays close to the bag at second, 1-0. Warriors now trail 9-4 here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Varsity squads both standing behind their dugouts, getting ready to go. As that pitch misses. The count now 2-0. Kenning is 0 for 1 today with a ground out to Atkins, the first baseman. That pitch misses high.
Just a little outside.
Yeah. Someone tweet me, and at Austin McNorton, who's out there watching, what movie that is.
Everybody should
I'm
know
sure
what that movie
anyone
is.
watching this game probably knows what that is. It's a pitch called strike, and it's a 3-1 count now for Addison Kenning. Varsity game up next. Pitch right down the center. Kenning definitely didn't have a green light that time, as that would have been the pitch to hit, but now it's a full count.
Yeah, it's time to pull the trigger.
Absolutely.
Keep it going.
Full count, 2 gone, inside, way inside, and called strike 3. And so the JV game has come to a conclusion, and that is the final. And the final score ends up being Plattsmouth 9, Wahoo 4. And we'll get ready for your varsity game coming up next, right?
Yeah, we will. So we're going to take a break and get everything set up and ready for the varsity game right here on Wahoo WPS on YouTube, as well as SaundersCountyOnline.com.